Check out these culverts. See that brown water? It's full of wood. Wood is what stained it that color. Now, what is concerning is, you see the water leaking underneath it? That's either coming through the whole hill or there's a leaking joint. Hoping it's a leaking joint, because that would be the best case scenario. Now we're gonna walk across the street and look at the intake, which doesn't have anything on it, but it is really strong. Just for an example. I'm gonna take a rock and I'm gonna show you. Look at that, it's even making a whirlpool on the end. Watch this. It won't drop straight down. It's gonna get sucked in. See that? I can even hear it tumbling through the pipe. It's gonna get sucked all the way through. And now this nice flat rock, let's skip it. I got a good 3 skips out of that one. That's something this shale rock is really good for. If you can get some really, that one will probably skip. Yeah, I got a few, even though that was chunky. That one was huge. At least I got one. This road is messed up. Look at all these massive ruts. And there's trickling water in the center of it. But where is that trickling water coming from? It's got to be a clogged drainage ditch overflowing and using the rut instead. And this goes for quite a while. I'm going to trade off now. This is such a horrible road. This must have happened in the winter and they haven't fixed it yet. Would not want to be down here on a rainy day. Looks like it'd be really easy to get stuck. Being careful. Easily bottom out on this. I actually heard a little down there. Yep, that's exactly what I thought it was. It's all coming out of here on the left because there is no drainage ditch. They gotta redig that. Absolutely no drainage ditch. Now there is, where the problem isn't. Here we are at another culvert. The water's tinted brown because of rotten wood and other contaminants. It's all natural. Take a look at that. There's a little bit of rot starting. Inside does not look too bad. It appears just to be on the end because it has all the freeze and thaw cycles, which make it worse. That's got to be replaced probably in the next 5 years. By the evidence, this whole area floods underwater when that would go to capacity. And on the other side of the road, it's in decent condition, but you can tell it's been hit by an excavator. I stirred that little bit up there, getting in the water to look. We're gonna remove that truck tire that somebody clearly threw in there. That didn't blow in here by itself. Yeah, you can see it's been hit probably by an excavator clearing it, not being careful. Probably too big for the job. Whole sidewall's missing. That was a blowout from something. They must have driven on it a long time. It's heavier than it looks. Really slimy, and without the sidewall, that was pretty cool. I got to drive it up like a tank. They put up these markers when it's time to replace a culvert. This one is handling the water. But as you can see, it's going in there at the wrong angle. It's going to cause erosion after a while. But also, you see the pipe, it's handling, but why is it not going in all the way? I haven't been over there yet, but I bet this end is lower, and the other end is supposed to be lower because that's where it's ending up. These cracks are normal. That's just from the ground drying out in the sun. And as the ground dries out, it shrinks, but there's the pipe there, so it can't sink as low as the rest. Okay, this end is definitely lower. So you know what that tells me? They put the pipe over a hump, or the pipe is collapsed. And that might be why they're starting work. Look at this dented rim. This truck must have hit something really hard and drove a little while with it. Tires all messed up. And they discarded it here because it's dented. They're not going to bother fixing that. And that's a perfect kind of rim for a fire pit. You can put it right over a hole. But the tire's not damaged enough. There's no way to get that thing off. And I do not have the room for that entire tire. It's a tractor trailer tire. It's big. It's perfect for a fire pit insert. And you put some rocks around it. Sign is still knocked down from over a year ago. Something hit this. Possibly even went over it. I've been seeing logs absolutely everywhere. They did a horrible job loading one of them. And by the looks of it, they lost like half the load. Must have seen 50 logs randomly in the road. If they're in the center, I push them to the side. Otherwise, just leave them. Looks like it would be a nice place for swimming. I was here last year. This was almost dried up. It was all rock. Just because I think this will be funny. Damn, that splash was huge. Where is it? Made a big wave. There it goes. There was no way I would have lifted that myself completely over the guardrail. So I lifted like half of it and let it flip the rest of it over under its own weight. So I ran back pretty far because I didn't know how far it was going to flip. There it goes. Off into the wilderness. Not even clogged, just installed incorrectly with the entrance lower. Another one. This is cool. This part of the forest collects maple syrup. Look at that giant tank. That building is probably a sugar house, that container. Definitely got that flowing a bit better. Wasn't much on there, just preventative maintenance. Don't know what the purpose of this is that the loggers made. It's just a big mosquito breeding ground now. Millions of them probably in there. All these big piles. What caught my attention was this from a distance looks like running water. It's just slime. I thought that this was some kind of retention pond. It's not. It appears to be some kind of landfill. Right there I can see a tractor trailer tire and rim. I can see bits and pieces of metal culverts sticking out of the hill. And over here I can see a whole bunch of plastic culverts that they buried, along with tons of these timbers, really big nails. This is some of their former bridges that they tore up. See, there's more culverts down here. And that probably goes pretty deep into the hill. Really rough road here.